And so we called it the Shaman Shack. Shaman Shack.
Shaman Shack.
When you're ready to meet me and you think everything's okay,
there may be some juicy tidbits.
You've never seen the lights?
No. No orbs, no nothing. Nothing that could say, hey, that was Sasquatch. Aliens are real.
How can I write about something that I don't really know about?
See how it all curled in?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You compete against me, you're going to lose. You're in deep trouble.
You don't watch us fall is what you're trying to do.
Not that way. And are you one of them that feels like they're already here?
Yeah.
So we just climbed out of the creek alley, found a bear nest. I was struggling a little bit to identify because I'm used to the plops in the summertime. I guess one time I did find a bear den, but that was years ago. And absolutely, according to Larry, was exactly what you said. Those were, what do you call them, post-hibernation shits?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then as we're looking at it, there's this grouse beating its chest with its feathers, and I'd never heard that. I've only heard the grouse sound.
Same. So it sounded like almost the beginnings of a helicopter starting up or something.
It sounded like the blades of a blackhawk getting ready.
Yeah.
And you could feel it just like you could the grouse sound.
It's wild that can come from such a small bird.
Yeah.
I mean, that small.
I'll say this much about Todd Standing after hearing a lot about him, after meeting him now for the first time. He lives and breathes the subject matter. If you can't tell on camera, it's his 24/7, and the people that he has with him also are extremely devoted to the information he passes down. You're going to get the full, unfiltered next 12 hours of what we have to experience here. We're going to go have dinner with him and the crew, his expeditioners. Some come from Philly. Got the Philly brothers with us. I guess we're honorary expeditioners ourselves tonight. So I'm looking forward to dinner. And so we'll see what kind of dinner conversation we have.
Yeah. Spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
Who are you? What do you want?
Hey, don't shoot. It's me.
It's aberrant behavior.
Max pokes around the clutter some more, picks up one of those tiles, which turns out to be plaster cast.
Because the last time I saw you at Dad's funeral, you were dismissive and insulting.
In the scene, or are we still down? So, Allie, what are we getting ready to do here? We just had dinner with the expeditioners and Larry Buzzell, our host. And so now we're getting ready to head deep into the tree line over here. Yeah, so behind that wooden slat, now we're going to head into this giant copper pyramid where they're doing a meditation. So I guess we should be quiet. Oh, yeah, you got your Team Night Vision from Empire Strikes Back. Actually, it looks like it's working.
Yeah. It does work.
It's so crazy. Easy, Night Demon.
Sounds to you that make the sound for you to pick up, so that they'll be talking to you through mind speak. If you're not quite listening, they make a sound, and that sound is to cue you to that mind speak. So if you're walking around and you feel like you're being watched, there's a Sasquatch around you, they're talking to you, you kind of not picking up on it clearly, and they make that sound to cue you to the mind speak, because that's their form.
First clip didn't work. Tell people what we're doing right now.
We just left the meditation circle under the copper pyramid, and we wanted to take an opportunity to walk in the direction where you and Larry have had activity before. And we've got all our night gadgets, including like thermal camera, night vision, and recorders and such. But you heard a really loud tree being thrown, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So, anyways, we're seeing what we can stir up out here. I have so many layers on machine.
Is that the weird little stuff and big stuff?
Yeah.
And all pushed together?
And this is, every time, it's like there's stuff vertically, but they always wedge something horizontally.
Yeah. And these are kind of like, look.
Is that a dog? Where's that?
What the hell is that?
What the hell's even that?
So it's 11 o'clock at night. Got full batteries here. We're going to stick the recorder by this weird collection of branches and sticks. Can you just find a spot?
Do you want it kind of hidden, or
Oh,
just...
I don't. No one's going to walk back there. Maybe on the ground somewhere so it doesn't get knocked over by a squirrel. Oh, someone made a hoop.
Where's that? That's Larry's truck.
Oh, okay.
The beat.
Maybe he's letting them get out, moving his truck so they can leave, kind of deal. Okay, so it's right in a good spot. I mean, this is strange looking.
Oh,
There's
very.
a collection of...
We gotta come back here in the morning. In the daytime.
Yeah,
What was that?
I know.
Like dragged over and hooked? Or not dragged, but like pulled over and hooked, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a weird little area.
We should come back for like, yeah. Well, obviously for the test. I want to see this tree structure.
Yeah. I want you to see this place in the daytime.
And, I don't know if it's worth mentioning, but we heard that little, like, apport. It was literally just like a
lit poppy.
Yeah.
Oh. Did you hear that?
What was that?
What'd you hear?
Thud?
Yeah.
Thump?
Yeah.
Was that not you?
No. They sound like something just got thrown or landed. So it's the next morning. But first, coffee. Got a full day. Macaw, elders, Bigfoot stories. Not quite sure what to expect. Could very well be a long day full of filming. I'll let you know as the day progresses on how things turn out here on camera.
Okay, stand here so that... So, when you get it, you just bathe yourself. Yeah? Okay. There you go. There you go. Just bathe your whole body. There you go. Let's do your heart center again. All right, this area. Oh, it's like a shield. Sorry. It's like a shield there. Do you see it? Do you see the shield?
Oh yeah.
How the smoke is coming this
Pushing
way.
back.
Yeah. There's a reason why it's like shielded, but that really illustrates it. See, we get here and it's fine, and in the back it wasn't doing that, right? Just feel into the earth, Mother Earth, Pachamama, you know. We can go this side. You can hear the eagle in the background.
I do. Inelia, you hear the eagle. I hear the eagle.
Uh-huh.
So we're walking the path here with Larry's wife, Inelia Benz, author of several books, and as well as practitioner of, what would you say, medicine?
Wisdom keeping.
Wisdom keeping?
Yes.
Okay.
That's my main lineage in all of them. It's like wisdom keeping.
And so where does this date back to? We were talking off camera about how far this could go back to, but you're saying, well, we need to go back to the beginning of time when it comes to
Lineages.
keeping the wisdom.
Yeah, lineages is like people are born sometimes into familial lineages, you know? And then sometimes they resonate with one, and maybe it's from a previous lifetime that they brought in. And then there's several lineages that are quite common in the people I work with. One of them being healers and recovering and re-establishing healing on the planet. Another one would be straight on wisdom keeper. And that can be somebody like you who does a lot of gathering of data and then sharing it. That's the role of a wisdom keeper.
So
right?
by me putting people in the same room and talking about these secret worlds, that's a type of wisdom keeping?
That is wisdom keeping.
Okay.
Not a type.
Okay, that is
Right.
wisdom.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, go back in history, how many times you'd see the fire and the wisdom keepers telling stories, or the bards if you're from Europe, right?
Right.
With their songs. All of those.
And that's what you do at the Shaman Shack?
We do a lot of things there. We bring in different teachers, wisdom keepers, shamans, practitioners to do stuff there. And I do events there too, teaching people alchemy, magic from gypsy lineage that I have at genetic level, and also the wisdom keeper from the Native American lineages that I belong to.
You were saying that most people, humans, are high frequency?
Yes.
Okay.
Their natural state.
And what do you mean by high frequency for the layman?
I would say love, joy, curiosity, exploration, nurturing others. Do you know the word humane, to be humane?
Sure.
What does that mean to you?
To treat others as you want to be treated?
Yeah, humane means high frequency.
Gotcha.
Right? And it has the word human in it. Humane means you're being humane.
Gotcha.
Right? You're being a good high frequency natural person. So that's basically what that means.
So people become low frequency due to what?
They don't become it. It's mostly like they adopt or adapt or they integrate low frequency programs like fear or envy, addictions, that type of stuff. They put it into themselves. So from my lineage, one of the things that we teach is that those will be the shamanic lineage, the Native American lineage. The person has different bodies and expressions. They're not literally different, but you can, in our Western mind, it's easier to separate them in order to work with them. So you have your emotional body, you have your physical body, your mental body, your energy body, and your egoic body. And there's another body that we're going to start working with my students is what I call, I didn't know what to name it, but it's almost like a copy of our physical body, but it's inside of it. So I call it the endo body.
Endo?
Endo body, yeah.
Okay.
That's what I call it. Doesn't have a name in English, right? So that body is what we use from lifetime after lifetime, or even in just one lifetime. We integrate things into it, positive things, negative things. We integrate all the programs and things, you know? And then that creates the frequency, like the average frequency that we walk the earth with.
Well, you were bringing up something to Inelia about Allie's lineage. Like you already knew that she already had some First Nations in her. Was that something you picked up on intuitively, or?
Well, yes, the first time I met you, but then Larry told me something that, but the funny thing is that when everybody started saying they were coming to the Shaman Shack, I said, oh, there's a shamanic lineage that's interesting, and that the shaman from the Sasquatch tribe here is very interested in. And I met all the guys the other day, and I was watching them and looking at them going, I don't see it. And then when I saw you today, I thought, oh my God, it's obvious who it is. So shamanic, what does that mean? Wisdom keeping, but I think you have a very strong healing line, you know, that you could pursue and see where it takes you, right?
Yeah.
But connecting with this lady, that would be really cool. And the reason why sometimes they'll mate with humans and have a part human Sasquatch is so that their cousins, they don't lose connection with their cousins because we're their cousins, right? And they don't want to lose connection with their cousins. So they keep that connection going. And at least here in the tribe, there's a few people that you look at them, you go, oh, Sasquatch. Because they're really big, they have no neck, you know. They're like, for a human, ugly, but for a Sasquatch, very attractive. I'm going to tell you an experience that I had. When I first started connecting with the Sasquatch here, I was super fascinated with them, and I would have long conversations. And they're all what I call experiential telepathy, which in the Sasquatch arena, I think they call mind speak. I don't call it mind speak because they don't actually speak. It's more like downloading experiences. They share experiences, which is the universal language of everything. Please don't be dead. That's what I kept thinking, you know. It's like, oh no. So I went over and the mama was really upset holding the baby, and he was close to death. And I touched his nose and he like burning, you know, it's like he was burning up. And I said, it's human. It's a human thing. And we tried everything and we don't know what to do. And I had just learned about vitamin C.
Oh, yeah.
How that can help you when you have, like, say, a fever or shedding toxins or whatever. And I was looking at the baby and I'm thinking, has he been playing in cell phone towers? He says, yes. They'd put one of the cell phone towers and I think they'd been turned into the next G or something. And the baby had been climbing it up and down, thinking it was the best thing on the planet. I said, well, don't let any of the children go near those because I think this is just shedding all that toxins that comes out of the flat towers, you know. So I said, vitamin C, and I went to my cabinet, like medicine cabinet, right? And I'm going to grab the vitamin C natural flavor, like made out of berries, and say, oh, no, I can't give him this. It's ridiculous. That's not going to do anything. And where are they going to get more? So I said, okay, you need to give him this, but it's vitamin C. And she's like, what is that, right? So I imagined a bruise dip. You know, if you tasted a bruise dip and then you bite into it, you feel it. You feel that taste, like a little bit tart, you know? And that's the vitamin C. And I sent that as an experiential telepathy to the shaman lady. And she said, oh, yeah, she said. And then she started showing me all sorts of different plants here, like these things, the ferns. This bit of the fern, right? This is a bit too grown up, but when they're very tiny, right, there's like a little curl, and that little curl has that in it, the vitamin C, right? Yeah. So she showed me that, and then later I checked with Larry, and he said, oh, yeah, those are full of vitamin C, you know. She showed me huckleberries, those blue ones, it's not blueberries. What are those?
Rose hips too, right?
Rose hips, yeah, lots of rose hips.
So they had those out in the yard.
Yes, we had those, so we took those. And so she said, yeah, we'll do it. So do it into a paste and just shove it down it with liquids, you know, so if he pukes, then you have to give him some more. He mustn't dehydrate. Dehydration will kill him. So you have to just do this. And then they left. And my heart was going boom, 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 because human bodies, you know, we get really scared, especially the guy was so mad, you know. And then, so they left, and I went back to the bedroom going, oh my God, did that really happen? And I was like, my heart was going 10 miles an hour, and I go back into bed, and he was snoring away. He didn't hear anything. And the guy wasn't being quiet, you know. He heard nothing. And I learned about that later, what happens. They put people to sleep, right, that are not ready, or they get in the way or get scared and stuff. So I go back into bed, and the next day I'm like, okay, that probably didn't happen, but I know it did. So I came out of the bedroom, and I went out to the front of the Shaman Shack, and those double doors were wide open still.
Oh, wow.
They had opened the doors and left them wide open, And I can't open. One of those is so hard to open because you have to pull up the thing and the bottom part and the top part and then pull it.
Yeah.
And they'd left them both open. And I said, okay, that's interesting. I don't know how that's going to go, you know. If I talk about this, then everybody's going to think I'm a nutter.
Inelia, people talk about this word imminent.
Imminent?
And they imminent disclosure, something that's about to arrive, a conscious-based life form, non-human entity, as though there's a date, an expected date. Is there something coming as far as humanity's concerned about an arrival of some kind from non-humans?
Not really. What's happening is that many people on the planet are waking up and seeing more. And anybody watching this, you're one. So you're the arrival. Your consciousness is arriving to a larger awareness. And when you do that, it's very difficult then to go back to low frequency, low nasty games because you're connected.
Okay.
So
arrival is more of a metaphor.
I think it's more like a hijack because then you externalize it and waiting for it rather than working yourself.
Ah, so it's a government psyop.
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty much.
And you believe in all that?
And all what?
Government psyops?
Yes.
Conspiracies in general?
Well,
You wrote a book about it.
I wrote a book about it. I was part of one of those programs. They took psychic kids and weaponized them.
You did?
Oh yeah, I was part of it. They took me when I was 12.
What was the project?
It's like weaponization of psychic kids.
Did it have like a name? Did it, like you're a part
The
of
school.
The school?
Yes.
Is that what they called it?
Yes, because you had to learn your
Wait a second.
ABCs, algebra, and everything else too.
Describe what we're talking about. And just
You can read it in the book.
yeah.
What do you want to know?
Well, is this an American program? Is this a
Worldwide. Global.
Uh-huh.
I was taken from Europe. I lived in England at the time. And my mom pretty much sold me to the program for certain benefits that she would get. But she was terrified of me because I was able to do a lot more than she could, you know, and she was really deep into the victim-aggressor stuff. So she made me into the bad guy. And so, yeah, I was put into that program when I was 12.
Wait, your mother weaponized you?
No, she sold me to the...
Yeah, but I thought you said before that she used because your ability.
She was afraid of me.
Afraid,
because
okay.
I could do more than she could.
And what could she do that you could do better?
Well, she was really into the victim-aggressor stuff. Right?
What do you mean by that?
Victim-aggressor, she was in a military coup
She was?
Chile. Yeah, really badly broken and then released as per the... there's a manual of how to rule the world through terror. You can buy it on Amazon. One of the things is you capture people, you capture them like really badly, and then you release them into the general population, and they'll tell their stories, right? They'll tell what happened, creating what?
Fear.
I'm not going to do anything wrong because I don't want that to happen to me, right?
It's the ultimate propaganda tool.
Yeah, totally.
Don't get out of line.
Exactly, yeah. So she was really into that. And when she tried to, she wasn't the best parent, you know. She would beat us up. And one time I just stopped her from moving. She couldn't move anymore. And I said, you have to stop that. Just don't do that anymore. So because she was afraid of me, she sold me to this government agency. I say sold, although I still went home in the weekends and stuff, because she got benefits from it. And they promised her that she would be able to control me after I went through the program, so that she wouldn't be afraid of me anymore.
So describe the first day, if you can remember, what the program was like.
So there was a couple of things. The first year was done in London, and they went straight for the turning you evil kind of thing.
How?
You, the kid is, unless they hurt this other kid that they can't see their face.
How are they?
Electrical currents or beat.
You were?
Up. Yeah. Or they tied you down into this gurney type thing, you know, and then start poking needles in you and stuff. or beat you up, or all this sort of things. And I said, this all can stop if you hurt that kid over there, and the kid is wearing a bag. The person will do something so bad in order for the pain to stop that then they can't go back, and they can be controlled into doing other bad things to other people. So that's become a weapon that somebody else controls.
Well, let me ask you about this, though. Are you saying part of what they were trying to do was not only to break you psychologically and have you tortured so you would go out and spill this propaganda to the community
No,
later?
that wasn't me. That was my mom.
But that wasn't the plan with you?
No.
So what the plan for you was what?
What
would happen?
If you harm that person, we'll stop.
Okay, and that's it?
Yes, that was it. We're talking about kids here.
Okay,
I was
but
a kid.
Were they trying to exploit your psychic ability by inducing
Yes.
harm?
Yes.
Okay.
No. That comes anyways. But what they wanted me to do wasn't shoot the kid. They wanted me to break him at a physical level.
But why?
So that then I would become pliable. I would done something so wrong and so evil, then I would work for evil after that.
You could be an agent.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were you an agent at any time?
Here's the thing. That didn't work with me. And it doesn't work with a lot of kids, because sometimes a kid comes along that they will not be pushed into harming another being, right? An innocent. They just won't. They will not harm an innocent, right? Or somebody who's not a direct threat. They just won't do it. So this guy, he was the main guy there. He like the typical white coat guy,
American, British, do you remember?
He was British.
Okay.
And super, you knew he had no morals, no limits of what he would do to control people. They call,
No empathy.
No empathy.
A sociopath.
Yeah, a sociopath.
Okay.
Torturing kids, come on.
Yeah.
Making them hurt another kid. So suddenly I looked at him and I thought, well, you're not innocent. So I hurt him.
How?
I broke all his bones in his body.
With your mind?
Yeah. Well, it's not your mind. It's actually the power comes from your, what you might call the...
I mean, this is reminiscent of Stranger Things.
I broke him, and then I got down from where I was. I don't know, I broke the things that was holding me. It's like a kid realizes, wait a minute, if I can't hurt the person who's not innocent, right? And then I can release myself from these straps. I kind of didn't quite manage getting myself completely free, but enough so that I could use my hands a little bit.
Have you found anybody else in the program?
Oh yeah.
In their adult life?
Yes.
And
so anyways, let me just finish the story, because it's not the end of the story.
Okay.
I put him back together.
You put the man back together,
Yes.
that you broke every bone.
Yes.
Okay.
I put him back together again. And I used to love that song, Humpty Dumpty fell. And all the king's
The nursery rhyme.
all the king's men couldn't put Humpty Dumpty together again. I put him back together, and he said, you're not to hurt anybody else, any more kids, that's bad. That's a bad thing, you're a bad man, because I was 12. And he says, I won't. And something cracked, something happened to him. He said, I won't, I promise you. And he released the rest of me, and I was let go. My mom picked me up, and then these guys came to my house, and they said, yeah, don't, we stopped all that. Oh, they told my mom that I killed this guy. So my mom said, you're an evil person, you killed this guy. They were trying to make me go into that zone of, I've already done great evil, but even though I hadn't. And I said, no. When I left, he was alive. And he was put together. I did not kill him, because they showed her the body and stuff. And but he was like, oh, sorry, dude, I guess you're not allowed to change your mind or something in this place. But I looked at the rest of them and says, you're not coming near me ever again. And they left. So these guys came to my house about a month or two later, and they said, yeah, that was very wrong, we stopped all that, blah, blah, blah. But you're a hero, you're a superhero. And we have a special place. We take the superhero kids so you can save the world. Sold! I was 12, right? Sold! It's like, and when I went to this, that was called the school. That was under a plateau in the United States somewhere. That was the main building was under there. And anyway, so near the El Duce, have you heard of that? No? It's a place. Where is El Duce, honey?
Dolce.
Oh, Dolce.
El Dolce.
You mean New Mexico?
Yeah.
Dulce.
Dulce.
You were in an
that's it.
underground base?
Yes.
In the mountain?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's where the main buildings were, but you
That's
could
like
go...
UFO Central.
No, it isn't actually.
It's
No.
not?
No.
It's all back engineered government stuff?
No, it's not that either. But it's not a central. But they had this part of the buildings there under the place. And we were training to be superheroes and save the world. But of course, who's telling you who's the bad guys, right? And who's telling you who's not the bad guys? So it got a little bit wobbly there for a while for me.
Years?
Yeah, I was there until I was 18.
So you were a field agent, or what were you called?
No, they had teams. They made teams. So one person in the team would be like, say, like the tech. They had the radios and communication and stuff. And another one was the scout. Another one was very strong. And another one was a killer, right? So I wrote a book, actually, a novel, inverted commas. I put in the characters of my team in there. What would happen if they had grown up and got together again, type thing, right? That's a novel that I wrote. But the characters are based on these kids that were part of my team. We had Gazelle, which she was about 17. Again, I was about 12. She was about 16, 17, and she was from, I think, northern Texas. And she was really tall, blonde, and her code name Gazelle was because of the way she moved, right? She was fast and she was like elegant and, you know. And then there was Monkey, who was the tech guy. He had the technology, the radios and everything. Then there was, he was Native American from that area. His dad was in the army there. Then there was Weasel. I can't remember what he used to do. And then there was Bear, he was close to 18 when I joined. And he was big and strong, and he was in charge of the group. Like he was the one in command of the group and take all they would tell us what to do and whatever. And it was pretty much like going to a place and grab something or...
What was your code name?
Panther.
Panther. Because?
I was the killer.
Ah.
It's like, I know, you see me now, and it's like, yeah.
So you were an operative and you had killed?
Yes.
Okay. But you don't know who these people were because it was an ever-changing
No,
list?
it didn't change. And the alien thing came in because under that base, there's a community, like a settlement of what you might call these, what do you call them? They're not actually alien. They've been on Earth longer than we have. Like with scales. What is that called?
Reptilian?
Yeah.
Okay.
And one of the things that was being put out there about this base was that the reptilians were doing human experiments. I met them. I hung out with them. They weren't doing that, but they had exchanged technology with humans. And they gave them the technology, they gave the humans technology to manipulate genetics. So the humans were the ones that were making all sorts of creatures with human DNA. And that was horrific, right? And these reptilians were like, holy smokes, give the humans this stuff. I mean, what are they going to do if we give them any more? They could not believe what the humans were doing. It's like totally unheard of. Now the humans, there's a Sasquatch story from up here. It's like when all the Sasquatch tribes were invited so that the gods could give them souls. And some of the tribes decided not to receive the souls.
Yeah, I've heard this one before. Is this a macaw story?
No, it's from a northern tribe.
Okay.
Yeah.
How does it go again? Because I'm only remembering pieces
So
of it.
the people were called by the gods to give them souls, right? Everybody who received the soul became human. And some of the tribes, the Sasquatch tribe, decided not to. They didn't want to catch a soul because bad things happen when that happened, right?
You say catching a soul like
Yeah.
catching a flu.
Exactly, that's how they feel about it. We're doing a podcast, so we have a podcast,
What is it called?
Driving to the Res.
Oh, and the name
You
of
can
your
see.
book that lists your background, clandestine background. What was the name of that book?
Team Whisper.
Team Whisper. Mm-hmm. Okay.
That was the code name of the team.
Okay, Allie, I think it's rolling. So we're just reviewing audio. It's the next day. You saw us at the what looked like a stick structure. Maybe it was a hunter's blind. Something took advantage of the woods last night and made a vocalization. And so we're going to share that with you. It's around 4:30 at night, we suspect. In the morning.
There's a deeper. Did you hear that? Go back to
No, I did. I just wanted to watch your expression. I can see it.
Yeah. That's amazing.
We're sleeping out there tonight.
Okay.
We have to.
We have to.
Yeah, you brought your sleeping bag.
Yeah.
I brought mine. We'll go out there with a couple of lawn chairs and we'll stay out there.
AKA no sleep.
I know it's like, here's the dilemma is that it's tough to lay outside in the woods when you know you're not going to get any sleep. But at the same time, it's like a once in a lifetime thing to get language. And if they're right there, And she's supposed to, according to Inelia, meet a shaman Bigfoot female. I think we might have found something. Ding, 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 ding. So it's midnight. We're here getting ready to go out to where the vocalizations were heard. And I'm getting some coffee ready. We have everything kind of staged out. We just got back from a macaw potluck. So now the most essential thing is coffee. So we're just having a cup of coffee as we head out the door. Is this thing not brewing yet? What the heck? It's been on here for like a half hour. Okay, well, that may or may not happen. We have all our bedding laid out. It's ready to go back in the woods. Walking there, can't drive. And we have an extra cot. I don't know what that means. If we're gonna use it or not. I'm ready to sleep in a lawn chair while Allie's on a single cot that's out there. If this ever gets made. Anyway, won't be bringing a camera in the woods. If we do, we're gonna keep it off. And the whole idea is to go with audio, have permission to use the audio, can't use the camera. And if we can find a way to use a camera and we feel like it's appropriate, then we'll do it. But this could very well just be the best of the best audio segment ever. If we get anything at all, it could have been a total one-off. Hey, special station identification break. This whole moment here tonight, everything here, this place, the Shaman Shack, Starlink, food, wonderful company, all of it brought to you by Driving to the Res. The lovely Inelia and Larry Benz have been, wouldn't you say, Allie, tremendous hosts to us?
Yes, they've been wonderful.
Yeah, so I'm gonna put that back on the fridge and I'm gonna put us in the woods here. I don't know what's about to happen. This may be a bust. Generally these things are. If you chase after the phenomena, it tends to go, whoa, no. Now you're here. But seeing as though Inelia had a message for young one camera woman back here regarding like a meeting between a female Sasquatch and you, maybe this is a good time for you to actually get your mind blown with a sighting. I'm only 95% chance that I've ever seen one of these things, and it certainly was less than most, like from the knees down, whatever. Tonight, if those are Sasquatch vocals, maybe they'll come back around 3 or 4 in the morning. It's 12:15 a.m. We're having a pot of coffee. We have a couple of cots, like I said, waiting for us. Hopefully they're not dew soaked. I don't think so. We're gonna chug a lug Donna, head out in the woods. Like I said, this is gonna be an audio portion unless we can get ourselves permission to roll camera in there. And I don't know what that even looks like, but we'll bring it just in case. But for the most part, I'm gonna be busting out the Tascam DR05, the Bigfooter's friend.
Just leaving me to fend for myself out here. I know. Do you want to go back to the trailer and sleep?
Back to the trailer?
Scorpions McGee over here.
How you doing, Allie? You did good tonight.
It's cold.
It's cold.
Mm-hmm.
I fell asleep a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
We lasted as long as
we could here. We got a long day ahead of us, so we're gonna leave the recorder going. It's time.
I actually might take a shower.
Well, I'm headed back in. Just had breakfast about 8:17 on Thursday, the 24th. We made it a little. We made it to a little bit past 4 a.m. And that was where the brunt of the sounds were occurring the night before. But what we noticed was the logging trucks all started about 3 a.m. up in the woods. Just loud, like way up top of that mountain. You could see their truck lights beaming through the forest. And I think that's why some of the sounds maybe happened around 4, is just the precursor sounds. Who knows, maybe they were depressed that they're going up there to clear cut. Maybe they don't care. The whole idea that they are here basically to expand consciousness and stop the wicked ways of mankind from killing the earth. Base consciousness stuff as we go into the woods. I don't know if I buy it. So here's where we slept. Or at least I did. Sorry, Allie. Oh, it's still going. Sweet. Well, I don't know what's on the recorder, but I do know that there was a couple of weird sounds. Hello! Come! Let us make your acquaintance. For soon, the Queen of Astoria shall arise from her throne, and our chariot must depart. Ah, your silence explains your true feelings. Well, Sasquatch, I bid you farewell for now. And as we say, I shall see you in the trees.